I'm Richard Davis, CEO and co-founder of 51toCarbonZero.
And I'm Michael Streitberger, Head of Partnerships at HowGood.
And we are here today together to announce a transformative partnership for the food and beverage industry.
Richard, tell me more about how you chose HowGood to partner with.
So first of all, we've been looking for a partner in the food and beverage industry for a while. The reason being that food and bev is roughly 20% of global carbon emissions, so we really need to do something about it. In looking for a partner, we were looking at three things really, and HowGood kind of ticked all the boxes. First of all, cultural alignment. Someone who was committed to not just measure for the sake of measuring, but measuring to enable the net zero transition. Secondly, someone who had the track record and the reputation in the industry to really give us confidence and give our clients confidence that the data would be reliable and audit ready. And thirdly, a partner that is easy to work with, not just for us at 51toCarbonZero, but in the end for our customer, so that they could access the data in a very easy, turnkey way within the 51Zero environment. And HowGood ticks all the three boxes and many more.
Why is 51toCarbonZero partnering with HowGood?
We have been working with many food brands in the last few years, helping them understand their carbon footprint and build a decarbonisation plan. And what we have realized is that you need reliable, granular data down to the ingredient level to make a plan real and achievable. Up to today, this has been very difficult to achieve, but with HowGood data, now this is finally possible. We can look at the full value chain of the food ecosystem, we can inject the data into the wider corporate footprint, and finally make business decisions in an informed way. Who is HowGood?
Yeah, so HowGood is the world's largest sustainability database for food and agriculture. And a big subcomponent of that is this massive library of emission factors that tie to any ingredient that you could possibly find. You know, we've spent 20 years mapping the global food system, and we're deeply entrenched at every level of the value chain. Chances are, if it exists in a formula, if it exists in a food recipe, it's going to be referenceable in our database. There's these little differentiators in the food system that really enable each company we work with to know exactly what they need to do in order to create these decarbonization plans. I do think that's why a lot of the biggest food brands in the world love working with HowGood. They continue working with HowGood. It just makes the decarbonization planning process so much easier.
Why have you decided to partner with us at 51toCarbonZero?
First and foremost, it comes down to adjacency or complementary capabilities, right? And we want those complementary capabilities to serve customers' needs, our customers' needs. We're constantly listening to what our customers want from our product and our offering and where we need to take it. Supporting food and beverage customers is a very unique thing, right? We know it very well. We're very vertically focused in food and beverage, and we want our partners to also share that. And then finally, with the partner or the partner's users, right, we really want them to see value or to benefit from our high fidelity data and emission factors, right? Yeah, we're really excited about the partnership. We're super aligned to do something special with this partnership, and I think that's why things have developed so quickly and efficiently with our discussions and development. So Richard, what makes this partnership transformative for food companies?
So to understand why this is transformative for a food company or a food brand, we need to unpack a bit more the problem that we're tackling. So today, a food company can only really use spend data to understand where their footprint is in their food value chain. And that spend data is highly inaccurate, as we know. This data might sit in different sources and systems, and this makes the whole process so time-consuming and resource-intensive, just for the sake of measuring. These different data sources might use different methodologies. Well, most certainly will use different methodologies, which again, from a data consistency, auditability, and tracking point of view, makes things really patchy and scattered. All of this now changes via this partnership. Finally, clients have access to activity data only in one place and with one single methodology. Our clients, like the Vesti Group brands, Albion Foods and others, are so excited about this, and they can't wait to access the data. They can't wait to see this coming to life. And they're really looking forward to make progress together with us. So Michael, how will this partnership help clients improve their business performance?
I think it's worth calling out first that HowGood doesn't work a lot with companies that are just doing the reporting to check a regulatory box, right? we're working with companies that want to convert that reporting and those outcomes into some sort of action plan, something that they can execute upon to reduce their impact. It goes back to what you were saying about looking at things at the ingredient level, at the subcomponent level, at the commodity origin point, right? All of these factors lead to more insights, more differentiation that is key, when you're looking at it from the company's shoes, right? I want these insights in order to create a plan, right? And I don't want that in a year, I want it now, right? And those automated mappings certainly help to that. So it moves you in the right direction, it moves you in that direction quickly, and most importantly, probably for our customers that want to hear, like, it does it cost effectively as well.
So what's next for our partnership?
Yeah, so I want to talk about the flexibility of our methodology, right? Today, we can take in a lot of variables and inputs in order to inform these emission factors. We've talked a little bit about it, all the way to agricultural inputs like fertilizer and irrigation and things that are happening at the farm level that inform a more granular emission factor. That methodology flexibility is only expanding, and our partners and our partner users are going to be the beneficiaries of that, right? So when we talk about dairy and protein modeling, or packaging emissions, or transportation and manufacturing emissions, we're going up into the supply chain and we're capturing all of the critical activities that inform GHG emissions, and then we're identifying the hotspots that can inform what you can do in order to reduce emissions for your company.